Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So, I had no interest in making a video today, but there's just so much on my mind that I just feel like I need to talk about it just to like get it out, because I feel like tomorrow I'll be forgetting shit and stuff like that. Andrew Nembhard is starting to piss me off. I'm just gonna call it what it is. Like, Andrew Nembhard is legitimately costing us games at this point. We have lost 13 games to lottery teams. 13. Okay, if we even win 6 of them, 5 or 6 of them, we're a top 3 seed in the East. Okay? Like, or at least in the conversation for it. Okay? For whatever fucking reason, we can, beat OKC. We can take the Timberwolves to one basket and arguably get fucking fouled and should have won the game. Okay? But we can't beat the Chicago Bulls. We can't beat the San Antonio Spurs. Fuck, we even struggle against the Pistons. Like, what in the actual fuck? When are we gonna make these dog shit fucking teams play to our level and stop playing to their level? Now, I get that DeMar DeRozan had like an out-of-body experience last night and scored, 46 fucking points? But the fact of the matter is, I'm watching this game, and down the stretch for the shot to send it into overtime is on TJ McConnell, of all people. It's like, yeah, let's put the 6-foot guard in the fucking game that, everybody can shoot over, and of course, they get the switch with DeMar DeRozan on him, and it's fucking water because, I don't know, TJ McConnell one-on-one against DeMar DeRozan probably couldn't guard a fucking parked car with an Uzi, but it's just the idea, I am so fucking tired of just the piss-poor coaching decisions, the Andrew Nembhard hero basketball that he tries to fucking play. I'm not gonna lie, I don't care how much people like Andrew Nembhard. If anybody should get fucking traded this offseason, it's Andrew Nembhard, okay? For whatever reason, this dude thinks he's fucking Stephen Curry down the stretch. I don't know why, but he seems to believe that, whenever the team is down or, we start trailing, suddenly Andrew Nembhard must think it's his fucking obligation to try to get us back into the game. He shot 4 of 12, 0 of 5. He's shooting like dog shit all fucking season. And then, the last shot he takes in the fourth quarter is, from the fucking half-court line. I mean, we're talking a 30-footer. I mean, why? If anybody should be taking that shot, it's Tyrese Halliburton or Ben Shepherd, not Andrew fucking Nembhard, okay? I know that people like him because of his defense, and, last year he played really good, and he was a second-round pick, and yeah, he's going through a sophomore slump thing right now, but the fact of the matter is, in that particular game against Chicago last night, why did Ben Shepherd not play to close out that game? I'm sorry, but when you need a three-pointer, when you need points, I trust Ben Shepherd a whole hell of a lot more than I trust Andrew Nembhard. And for whatever reason, Rick Carlisle keeps fucking playing him. I don't know why. He lets Andrew Nembhard get away with so much shit that he would not let Ben Mathurin get away with. And I'm getting tired of it. I'm just gonna call it what it is. I'm getting fucking tired of it, okay? Because every time I gotta watch this fucking clown show that gets put on by Andrew Nembhard, we lose games. Every fucking time. 4 of 12, 0 of 5. You can't make one three-pointer, my G. I could go out there and play a fucking NBA game and play 40 fucking minutes and at least make one of them. I mean, it blows my mind how fucking incompetent it's becoming. I've given Rick a pass all year. Okay, I've given Rick Carlisle a pass all fucking year, okay? Even in the shitty situation, I'm like, okay, you know what? It happens. I can't expect Rick Carlisle to be perfect. But, I mean, in the final seconds of the game, it's yeah, let's put TJ McConnell in instead of Ben Shepherd or Jarris Walker, right? Or somebody at least with some fucking height that can guard DeMar DeRozan. Because DeMar DeRozan is the guy who's been fucking us up all game. That's who they're going to go to. Instead, we get the switch with TJ McConnell. You put TJ McConnell and Ayo Dosunmu. I get it. I get that they got the switch and that happens. I get it. But the fact of the matter is, in those situations where DeMar DeRozan's literally just beating the absolute piss out of you, okay, I expect Jarris Walker. I expect Ben Shepherd. Okay? I expect somebody taller to play defense in those situations. Okay? Siakam played very well. Tyrese Halliburton played all right. I mean, even Miles was playing decent. But, like, I can't do this Andrew Nembhard shit anymore. I can't. I'm sorry. We need to win games, and instead we're fucking around like, oh yeah, Andrew Nembhard's been playing like shit all fucking game, but let's continue to keep him in the game because defense. Okay? And like I would argue his defense isn't even really that fucking great either. All right? Like I in those situations, I would rather have Ben Shepherd. Ben Shepherd has proven that he can play defense, he can shoot threes, and instead we're fucking around with the dude who wants to play fucking hero ball all game. It's irritating to me, man, because I feel like we lose these games because of just sheer fucking ignorance. It's like, okay, yeah, Andrew Nembhard doesn't have it going. We're entering the fourth quarter. It's a close game. One basket sends it to overtime, and it's like we don't make the necessary substitutions. We keep Andrew Nembhard in the game, who is just playing like fucking dog shit this year. That game specifically, I don't understand it. I simply don't. And then when you include the fact that we've lost 13 games to lottery teams, it's like, bro, if we win fucking 6 of those games, 7 of those games, even 5 of those games, okay, we're a top 5 seed in the East. And we gotta play Detroit soon. I mean, like it's pretty sad when I watch these games, and I feel more confident about us playing the fucking Bucks than I do about us playing the fucking Pistons. I mean, and they're arguably one of the worst basketball teams of all time. It's getting to be ridiculous, is what it's getting to be. You know, like, I understand there's going to be a lot of shakeup on the roster this offseason. Jalen Smith's probably going to be gone, unfortunately. If Andrew Nembhard's gone at this point, I kind of don't give a fuck, all right? It irritates me because they're unnecessary losses, but also, like, Pascal Siakam's an unrestricted free agent, okay? It simply doesn't make sense on paper that we can beat Oklahoma City, we can, give the Minnesota Timberwolves a run for their fucking money, but we can't beat the Chicago Bulls because DeMar DeRozan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I think we're 8-9 at home or some shit when, like, Andrew Nembhard starts or some shit like that. It just... All I'm saying is, like, Andrew Nembhard would be such a better player if he didn't try to save the fucking day every time he's on the court. All right? Like, I get he's a young guy. I get he wants to be, he wants his moment, okay? I understand he wants his flowers, but this isn't how you get it. Okay? Going down the court 3 straight possessions and just jacking up shitty fucking shots, or driving to the basket on guys you should not be driving to the basket on. Okay? This dude can barely handle the fucking basketball, and for whatever reason, he thinks he's the guy that needs to go out there and try to save the fucking day all the time. I don't get it. Like, this is the second game I've seen where Andrew Nembhard goes out there and is like, I'm the guy. Tyrese Halliburton's out here. Pascal Siakam's out here. Aaron Nesmith is out here. Miles Turner is out here. But I'm the fucking guy, okay? Like, coach is calling my number, okay? Bullshit, okay? It's costing us games, and it's costing us games that it shouldn't be costing us. Like, the Chicago Bulls, okay, the Charlotte Hornets, the San Antonio Spurs, we can't beat the shittiest teams in the league, but you put us up against Oklahoma City and we'll beat the brakes off them by fucking 10 or 12 points. Like, I just don't understand it. And I'm to a point now where Andrew Nembhard is slowly, like, he's already on my shit list, but he's getting even higher and higher on that shit list. You know, it seems like we took Miles Turner out and replaced him with Andrew Nembhard on the shit list. It's just, I just don't understand. You know, like what is compelling him to be like, yeah, I need to take this 30-footer. You know, like the dude's taking they're not even close 3-pointers. Like, if you watch the 5 3-pointers he shot last night, I mean, most of them are from the same spot, and they're like 30-footers. They're not even like, 20-footers, 22-footers. No, these are like 25, 30-footers he's pulling up with guys in his fucking face. You know, like, I'm getting irritated because like this is something that like I feel like is basketball 101. You know, like if you got a guy in the game who is shooting like shit, is not playing team basketball, keeps playing hero ball, and it's clearly not fucking working, what does the coach usually do? Pulls you from the game and puts somebody else in who is capable of doing such things. Okay, and we got Isaiah Jackson hasn't been playing. We have Jarris Walker. We have Ben Shepherd. And then the substitution we do make at the end of the game is TJ McConnell. I'm losing my fucking shit. I really am. Like, we have 15 games left in the season after last night's game against Chicago. 15 games left, okay? We have the hardest schedule out of everyone around us in the seedings, okay? We have a harder schedule than Miami. We have a harder schedule than the Knicks. We have to play Toronto, I think twice. They're a shitty team, so I expect us to fucking lose to them. You know, it's like, I don't understand it. Like, some of these teams are even tanking. Like, some of these teams are purposely fucking tanking, and we can't beat them. Who's Detroit gonna... Detroit's probably gonna, like, yeah, they'll play Cade Cunningham, but they might not play Jalen Duren. Or whatever. Toronto, they're probably going to sit Emmanuel Quigley and RJ Barrett. They're playing for a draft pick. If we cannot beat these fucking teams, even when they're purposely trying to fucking lose, it just... why would Siakam come back? That's my problem with it. That's the reason I don't like it. Because I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, it happens. Every team in the NBA is a professional team. I get it. You lose games sometimes to teams you're not supposed to. But we have lost 13 fucking games to lottery teams. 13. That is the most of any team in the NBA with an above 500 record. Or 500 or better. Like, for whatever reason, against these dog shit fucking teams, we can't win. We can't do it. We just, for whatever fucking reason, we can't do it. We play with our head up our ass. We let them dictate the pace of the game. We let them dictate what the fuck is going on, okay? And then we lose. And then we come out after the game like, well, Rick Carlisle comes out and like his fucking mind to mouth is playing fucking Marco Polo. Well, this is not a Tyrese Halliburton issue, and this isn't an Andrew Nembhard issue. We lose as a team. No, fuck that. Call shit out. Okay? When Andrew Nembhard is playing fucking hero ball, if Ben Mathurin did that shit, you know he'd be on Ben Mathurin's ass. Ben Mathurin put up a 30 and 11 and has the audacity to come out after the game and say, there's no place for that on the team. Okay, but there's place on the team for Andrew Nembhard to shoot 4 or 12 and shoot 0 of 5 from 3, who's been shooting like fucking shit all year. And it's okay that he plays hero ball, but it's not okay that Ben Mathurin does it. Like, I understand that Ben Mathurin needs to move the ball more, okay? I understand that, you know, Ben Mathurin is the future of this team, and I understand he's maybe held to a higher standard than Andrew Nembhard. But I'm sorry, but we can't play favorites. Okay? Not with these two guys. I'm sorry, but Andrew Nembhard should not be getting special treatment over Ben Mathurin because he was just a later pick. Oh, well, we don't expect much out of him because he was a second-round pick, okay? Like, Andrew Nembhard played pretty well last year, but this year he's playing like shit, okay? If it's not okay for Ben Mathurin to go out there and play fucking iso ball, it should not be okay for Andrew Nembhard to do it. That's all I'm saying. That's all. I just want to get that off my chest because I'm getting tired of this shit. Okay? We are literally losing fucking games because Andrew Nembhard sells the fuck out of us whenever we're down. Whenever we're down, Andrew Nembhard's like, oh, Tyrese Halliburton's on the floor, Siakam's on the floor. Nah, fuck that. I'm going to do it myself. And then we get 3 or 4 possessions of that, and suddenly, instead of being behind by 1 or 2 points, suddenly we're behind by 4 or 6 points. I'm tired of it, man. I'm really tired of it. Like, Andrew Nembhard has been doing this all fucking year. All year. And it never gets called out. No one's calling it out because it's Andrew Nembhard, because he's a second-year guy. And I get it. You know, everyone goes through a sophomore slump, okay? Like, Scotty Barnes went through a sophomore slump. You know, I remember Chris Duarte when we had him went through a sophomore slump. But if you remember, Chris Duarte ended up getting traded, okay? Because I think he had a fucked up ankle and was always injured all the time. But it's just the idea, like, I don't understand how they justify it. That's my problem with the whole thing. Like, how do you justify it? How do you justify allowing this to happen. That's all I'm saying. Like, how do you justify 13 losses to lottery teams? How do you justify letting a guy go out there and having a bigger leash than the guy who's supposed to be the future of your franchise? I don't get it. I've had enough. Not gonna lie. I've had enough. Okay? But if Andrew Nembhard is allowed to go out there and play fucking hero ball and shoot 4 shots in a fucking row and shoot 12 shots for the night and only make 4 of them, and you're still letting him come down the floor and take 3, 4, 5 fucking shots in a row, and you don't sub him out, but if Ben Mathurin does it, you sub him out? Somebody please make it make sense. Because Ben Mathurin is 20 times the fucking player Andrew Nembhard is. I don't get it. I simply don't. I don't know how Rick Carlisle is running this fucking team, but, you know, like, I get it. You know, Andrew Nembhard is obviously not the only part of this team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand he's not the sole reason. Like, the sole reason we lose games, it's a team sport, but he's a big fucking portion of it. Okay? Like, when you come down the court and you got, you know, 2 or 3 possessions straight where Andrew Nembhard, sometimes 4 possessions straight, where Andrew Nembhard just comes down the floor and jacks up a shitty fucking shot and doesn't even look for anybody else, I'm sorry. That shit needs to stop. If we're going to close out the season and be a top 5 seed in the East, that shit needs to stop. That shit needs to be reeled in fucking immediately. Because if I gotta watch another game of Andrew Nembhard trying to be Stephen Curry or DeMar DeRozan or Michael Jordan or LeBron James or I don't know, whoever the fuck, okay, Jackie Moon from fucking Semi-Pro, okay, or Coffee Black from Semi-Pro, whoever you choose, okay, if I gotta watch that shit again, I swear I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack or a hernia. Or some crazy shit. Something's gonna happen. I'm gonna develop a fucking ulcer because I'm tired of watching it. I am tired of watching Andrew Nembhard play hero ball. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.